Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin and I just want to show you how to knit some fun things. And since Christmas is around the corner, I start by showing you how to make these fun star flower things. So let's get started. So what you're gonna need is some needles. These are a size 4. You can see that, but they're size 4. You're gonna need some scissors, some yarn, doesn't matter what color. This one's pink, and then I also have a sparkly green, and you're also gonna need the pattern, which I have in front of me. So you're gonna take one of the needles. So this is how I learned. You cast on one stitch, you wrap it around your thumb. I always wrap it twice to get the knot. Stick the needle in. Wrap it around, oh, wrong one. You wanna make sure you have the working end, not the short end. Because I'll show you in a second here. You don't need a lot. See, this is the working end, the one that's attached to the rest of it. You wrap it, and you put it like that, and it makes a knot. So then if it slips out, you still have enough to put it back in. That's one. All right, next you take your other needle. There's just one petal, so you go backwards. Oh, let me loosen that up. You can always loosen it by like pulling it down. Oh, that's too far. Too far. If it ever gets too far, you can always pull on your working string there, working end. You hold it, and you wrap it around the front. You twist it. Oh geez. And you flip it back on. The same stitch. Then you take your working end. Wrap it. Okay, now here's the tricky part. You want to take it and push that one over. Make sure you have 2 on there. And you pull. Now you have 2. And then the next one is just a simple purl stitch. Oh, yarn. Where you go in front of the needle, in front of the stitch, and you go 1, 2, and now you're back on this needle. Oh, that's just my phone, so we're gonna stick that right there. All right, now we're gonna do the front into the back stitch again. Do that twice. And then you twist it one more time and try to stick it back on there. So now you have 4. It should look like this. And then you're gonna purl your 4. Oops. One. 2. 3. 4. Here, let me fix my camera angle so then maybe. You flip back around. And you want the empty one always in your right hand when you get done, and the one with the stitches on it in your left hand before you start the next row. Okay. Oh, can't even turn the light on. It's okay. So you get 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. To make them tighter, you just pull your working string. Right. Oh, I haven't been marking these off. So on my end, I have the areas on where, so it's like the pattern, and then down here at the bottom, ooh, sorry guys, and at the bottom it's like, it has like all these numbers, and that's just so I can keep track of where we're at. Bear with me, this is my first time doing this, so, well, recording this, so. Okay, so we're back at the 4, and we're gonna work on row 5. So you're gonna take it. Yeah, I can see it's coming. Okay, there we go. Back through to the front, and back through to the same one. And there's your 2. And then you're gonna knit 2. So to knit, you go through the back, wrap it around, make sure it's pulled tight, push the bottom one through the top, you're gonna grab it, pull it off. You do that twice. Ooh, didn't want to come off there. All right, and then you're gonna do this front into the back again. All right, and I should have 6. Let's see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, the first one looks like a double, but it's not. So it looks something like this. All right, and then we're going to purl the 6. So you go through the front. Ooh, no, it fell off there. So go through the front. Wrap it around and pull through. Get all the way across, all the way to the 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, that didn't work very well. See how that looks? I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can fix this. So if it like ever ends up like this, that means you have like 1 too many on your needle. And that's a pretty easy fix, because then all you have to do is take, take this back one and just bring it over the top. Two, 3. There's 4. There should be 2 over here. Yep, there it is. Sorry, they kind of got stuck together. Five. And 6. There we go. As you can tell by now that the back is starting to curl. And so that's normal on the sides. And in the front, it should look that like straight. So how I know when to knit or purl is if the yarn is in the back, then it's time to knit, but if it's in the front, then it's a purl. Oh, okay, we're gonna make this 6 into 10. So, I'll try to go slow. So you're gonna take the front, to the back again, so it's 2, and then it's knit 1. You're just gonna knit the next stitch regularly. Ah. And then you're gonna knit the next 2, like the front and back stitch. It's called the KFB, front and back. Front into the back. So that's 1. this is 2, and then you're just gonna knit the next one. Don't worry, I will comment the entire pattern so then you guys can have it too. So, and then you do the front and back last time. Oops, I missed that one. Sorry. Ah. And then she'll look something like this. And you should have 10, so 2, 4, I always count by 2s, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, let me go update this chart here at the bottom. If you're lost on where we're at, we are on row 8. Oops. So the next 1, 2, the next 8, the 8 through 14 is just all knit and purl all the way across. So this one will be knit, no, this row will be purl, sorry, my bad. Row 8 is purl. So if you haven't noticed yet, but all the even rows so far are all purl. Ooh. My needle got stuck to my pen. Okay, so we're gonna purl all the way across. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. There it goes. 9. Oh, too far. You just want to get around the first needle. And 10. Yes, I do count out loud because if I do, I will forget where I am at. And secondly, you never want to put down the needle when you're in the middle of a row. If you do that, you will forget what needle you're working on and which way you're going. So always finish the row first. All right, so now we're gonna do row 9, which is knit 10 all the way across. So you're gonna knit them all the way across. So you have to do this like in 2 steps because you have to do all the petals first, and then you get to do like the center. So we're gonna make 5 or 6 petals. I think I'm gonna make 6 this time, because last time I made 5 and the pattern I wanted did not work out very well. So it was supposed to be like pink and white alternating, but the bottom 2 are just white, and there should have been a pink one right here, but I had to get ready for work. So that's what it looks like. And I will also post a picture of that too, so you can see where you're going, see if you're on the right track. All right, so we're on row 10 and it's a pearl. After this petal, I will probably start the next one later. But you guys can keep going because it's going to be the same pattern for all these petals that we're working on right now. So, but yes, you're going to need 5 or 6 petals, each with 10 stitches going across the top. Okay, we're on row 11, so which is a knit. Which is a knit row. Yes, I am really quick at knitting, so if you're slow, it's not a rush, it's called take your time. And yes, I'm constantly looking down because I'm looking at the pattern. I'm also making sure I don't miss a stitch. So after row 11, it should look about this long. All right, we're gonna purl this next row. Oops, run away yarn. All yourself, bye yarn. The yarn just landed on the floor, so it's okay. I'll grab it later. 1. Because by the time you're all done with these 5 or 6 petals, you should have 50 or 60 stitches on your needle, on one needle. Okay, now it's the last 2 for this petal anyways. So we're gonna knit and then we're gonna purl. So we're gonna knit all the way across here for this one. Get it on the needle. All right. So that's what it should look like so far, and we got one more to go. So you always want to make sure you got 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. I still got 10. Make sure you still got 10 here. You're gonna flip it. I'm gonna purl this last row. Okay, last one. We're gonna purl this last stitch. Okay, perfect. If you want them longer, you can go a little bit longer, but I don't. So you can see there's one petal. Okay, now you're gonna break your working yarn. Sorry. You're gonna break this end, because when you're done with this, you're gonna sew up the edges so then it makes it into a circle. Or you'll see at the very end. Don't worry about this because you can work on that later, but how I figure out how much to do is you take the top of this and the bottom of this one, and that should give you like the right amount. So you're gonna take your scissors and you're just gonna cut it right there. And then you're just gonna slide it all the way to the end. So it's gonna sit there. So all your petals are done. So that's one petal. Now you have to do it 4 or 5 more times, depending upon how many petals you want. So this is what it looks like when you have 2 petals on there. So you see, I didn't take the first one off. So total, you should have 20 stitches on your needle. All right, now, let's flip it over, hold on. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. So this is what the back looks like. A top view. So the rolled part is supposed to be in the back. So this is what 3 petals looks like. So you should have 30 stitches on your needle right now after 3 petals. Okay, so this is what 4 petals looks like. So you have the front here, and then you have the back there, because it's all curling up in the back. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you should have 40 stitches from the end of the needle to the beginning of the needle. Okay, now there's 5 petals on here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each with 10 stitches, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So if you want to stop there, that's fine, but I'm gonna add 1 more. Then I will show you how to make the center. Okay, so now you have all your petals on here. So I've got 6 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 60 stitches, and I just left this one so it's still connected to your ball yarn. So all we're gonna do now is we're gonna knit them all together. Oh, make sure you grab the right one. So I am doing 60 here, but you only do 10, like 1 stitch at a time. So there's gonna be 6 different segments of 10 you're gonna be doing. So that's 8, 9, 10. You're just gonna keep going, like you're gonna add them all together. Also, you want to make sure you keep this one pulled so then it doesn't come apart on you. So there's 20. So that's 30. So every time you add a new petal, you want to make sure that the one that you cut is always pulled tight so you do not lose that stitch. Oops, wrong one. Ah. Here's 40. Just 2 more. And again, switch colors if you want to, which I am, so I'll show you how to do that next after I'm done here. Switching colors isn't actually that hard to do. It's just a matter of tying another piece on to your yarn that you're already working with. So I'll show you how I introduce the new color here in a minute. Here's 50. So this is what it normally is, it's 50, but I decided to do 1 more petal. Oops, I got stuck on my shirt. Because it looked like it needed an extra petal. But if you want to go for 50, you can stay at 50. Does not matter. Okay, and 60. Okay, perfect. So this is all on the one. Ooh, straighten this out just a little bit. There, and there's all in one. Okay, so this is the color I'm going to use for the center. You can use any color, but I think it would look good with the pink. So we're just going to take this one, and it's just another knit row. So we're just going to take it. So put it to the side. Grab your needle. So instead of using your pink or whatever color you're using, you're going to take that, hold it on there, and you're just going to knit like you would before. And you're going to hold that end for later. Everybody has a different way of doing it, but that's how I learned how to do that. So you just knit on. Oops, it's been away. See, and then the white is showing up. Oh, too far. Come on, where'd you go? There it goes. Sorry, it happens like when a stitch gets stuck in between a stitch. So you have to figure out where it ended. Don't worry about these hanging pieces right now. We will take care of those at the end. Because at the end we're going to sew it all up and make it look all pretty. And then you'll have your flower. There it goes. Sometimes your ends get mixed in with the top, so you have to be careful. Almost done, and we can continue on with our pattern. I like to push mine down a few times to make sure none of these fall off of the needle. Because it's horrible when they fall off and then you have to pick them all back up again. Okay. Is there one more? And voila. This is what it should look like if you change the color. Regardless, this is what it should look like. So before I move on, I'm going to take these two, the pink one that I was working with, and the white one I just added on. And just make a little knot, like you're tying a shoe. Because I did not think so. I'm just going to cut it about there. And make this knot. Like that, like a shoe. Like a shoe knot. Make sure it doesn't come out. There. So it looks like that. Okay, then you're going to knit this next row. Just knit all the way across. So you knit, once you hit row 15, you're just going to knit 3 times in a row. Make sure you don't drop anything. Alright, we're almost to the end, and then we can go on to the next row. The next row will be, we're going to be knitting 2 together all the way across. Okay. Now we're going to knit 2 across, but make sure you still have the same amount of stitches. Okay, now we're going to knit 2 together all the way across. Sometimes they're a little tricky to get in behind, a couple of them. See right here, this is being a little tricky, so there it is. Oops, I got a little bit too much here. So if you have like a little strand like this one, just pull it over. Okay, so I just dropped a stitch. You see that? There's a stitch right here. So to fix it, all you do is you put that part back on there. See, this is the stitch I dropped. Grab that part, you put that part on there, and you just kind of fling it through. And then it goes back to where you started. And then I have to back up a stitch. So to back up, you just grab the bottom one, the last one you put on, and you just pull it off. And you should be back to where you started. Or back to where you were. Don't forget to push those down. Okay. Move out of the way, yeah. Sometimes I pull down on the yarn so I can get through. Sorry, it's cold here today, so. Alright, and then I just got this last few bits. Left the two together. Alright, so for the two together, if I didn't show you already, you take these two, pull this one back, take your needle, and you go through them both, like through the back of them both. I didn't catch that yarn. So as you pull back, you want to catch the yarn. Okay. Last one. There. That was really loud. Okay, so if you have 50 stitches on your needle, then you're supposed to have 25. Now since I had 60, I'm supposed to have 30, so. Okay, Now we're on row 19. Knit 2 together 12 times and then knit 1 at the end, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing knit 2 together 13 times and then knit 2 at the end. So if you have the 50 stitches, you're going to knit 2 together 12 times and then you're going to knit that final stitch. Ooh, there we go. So the yarn I'm using is like very shiny and has like bits of silver in it. So it gets a little, and it makes it like a little bit more festive, I guess, for Christmas. Oops. No, get back over here. That's why you have to be very, very careful because these stitches like to come off. As you can see that did not work very well, so you have to put them back on the other needle and try it again. There we go. So you can see I keep dropping them, but that's okay, because then you can always pick them up if you're fast enough, because I really don't want to start over. That's why I like to hold them like with my finger here at the end, so then they won't come off the needle as easily. almost to the end. Oh, I have a tricky one. Okay, let's see. Pull down. There we go. Well, that's just a piece that was there from before. Right now we're just gonna knit these final two singly. And two, okay. So it should look something like this by now. See how it's slowly getting up at the top there? Okay, so this next row, we're gonna purl it all the way across. Okay, purling is done. So by now it should look like this, where the petals are starting to curl on a couple of them. So, but that's fine. Next, we're going to knit two together all the way across, and then if you're doing 50 stitches, you're gonna knit that last one. So, but I didn't start with 50, I started with 60, so it's gonna be a little bit different, but that's okay. So I'll work with what I've got. So we're just gonna start by knitting two together. So I have to see how many I have here. And the yarn's hiding. Sometimes it does that, or where it blends in, so you have to be careful. So I used a different color for the center, so then I don't lose the yarn I'm working with. I guess I'm doing the same thing. Knit 2 all the way across and I knit the very last one. It's okay. Like I said, I had to see because I had really different amount of stitches on this one, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. All right, and then you knit that final one. And now I see look at now it's starting to form the flower shape without like the dangle I used. Should be facing downwards, and so we should have. So if you start with the 50 stitches at the beginning of the center, right now you should have 7. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I've got 9. But that's okay, because I wanted it to be like a little bit different. All right, so now comes the fun part. Okay, now we're gonna do the final row, which is you purl the last remaining stitches all the way across. So if you did 50, you're gonna purl, that's 7. Since I had 60, I have to purl as 9. Then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Sometimes you can make these in a day, sometimes you can make them in 2 days, sometimes it takes longer, but it really depends on who you are and how fast, well, not how fast, but how much you can get done in a day. So I'm on a limited time frame, so that's why I couldn't finish mine in a day. Okay. So this is what it should look like. Then you're gonna put your needle down. Grab your scissors. And you're gonna cut this long piece. Doesn't matter how long, just enough. I usually cut about the same size as those. Snip. Now you're done with your yarn. But now, you are going to need a needle. It's called a darning needle, but this is like a regular needle, but it will still work. So you're gonna need one of these to finish this off. Okay, now that you have your needle on your thread, you're gonna want to put the stitches together, and you're just gonna put the needle through the stitches on one side. I'm doing the back because the working end is on the back, so we're just gonna stitch them through all the way across. You can do one at a time. You can do all of them like I am right here, but do not take the needle out. Do not take the big needle out yet. gonna take it. Oh, hold on, that wasn't supposed to do that. Sometimes it does that, so then you just have to move it back through. Okay, grab your needle on the other side. So it pops through to the other side. All you're gonna do is pull it. Pull the yarn through. Then I take my needle and I wrap it around to the front. So then you have a needle in the front like this. Instead of your yarn like that. Oh, hold on, I keep dropping this thing. There we go. All right, and then you're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to thread, ow, that's sharp. You're gonna thread it through like so. Make sure you get all the petal, make sure you get all the stitches, and then you're going to simply pull like that. Okay, so it looks something like this, like nice and tight. But if you want to do it again, you can. I might do it one more time, just for effect. And so I can make sure that it's actually tight. Since I had those extra couple stitches in there. Okay. One more time around this way. Okay. Now, you're gonna simply pull out the big needle and pull tight. I'll try to pull it tight, but then you flatten it out. Well, it's gonna look something like this when you pull it off, so it's gonna look a little bit crazy at first. Okay, so then you're gonna wanna take that. Oh. I don't want to lose my needle, so that's why I'm trying to work with this the way it is. Oh, that's my problem. Okay, my end folded up on itself. Okay, so then it's gonna look something like this. Oh, let me. Okay, so this is what it should look like once you get it all figured out. Now we're gonna sew up this middle part. So you take your working end that you're working with, and you're just gonna go around your petals, making them look all secure and pretty. Okay, so this is what it should look like after you're done the middle. So this is the front, and this is the back. So hold on, let me finish this part right here. So how I like to tie off on, you just make a knot. So you just go through one of these stitches down here. The stitches down here. Like so. pull a little bit, so because you want the loop. You want to make a loop out of this one, so there's a loop right here. So you just take it. It's a little snug. Okay, so you take it like so, and you just loop. Do like that, and just pull. And there's a little knot. You take that one off, but then see there's like a little knot here at the end. When you pull it, it doesn't come loose. And then you're just gonna simply cut the end off. And you're just gonna do that for all the strands here. So you can either use the needle or you can use your fingers. I'm gonna use my fingers for this next one because it's just the top. You just loop it through. You're just weaving them in and out to make it look. You just weave it in and out. Just to make it look like it's an actual petal. So that one's done. I like to cut it right before the top. And I do this all the way around. And for these ones, I will show you how to do those next. I like using my fingers because then I don't get poked by the needles. Alright. Sometimes you just have to find an opening to put these through. Okay, there's another one done. So that should be 3. I'm sorry, that should be 2 then. I'm counting my ties here so I know where I'm at. You just find an opening. You just stick it through. I like to stick it through the back because it's easier. Don't lose that opening because that's the opening you're going to need. Pull it through. Okay, how many more of these do I got? One. I like counting to see how many more I have. Then I can start like on the other sides. Sometimes I can't see, so I have to hold it up higher. Or you can grab the needle. You can try to pull it through that way sometimes. Or you can roll it. Mine's starting to fray apart, so I kind of like roll it. Stick it through. Grab and pull. Alright, there should be one more, one more topper. And then we're going to go to the inside. Okay, so this is what it should look like after you get all the the top parts done. Now we're gonna go to the inside. The insides, you're just gonna take each one of them and you're gonna weave them in and out through the sides. Just a little bit to hold it together, hold it shape. This part was where the needle comes in handy, but I'm gonna try it without my needle. Okay, so I'm gonna use the needle for this next part. I thought I could do it with my fingers, but I can't because the holes are too small. So you're just gonna open up the flower, well, open up the petal that you're working on. You just wanna sew this gap is all we're doing. You take it and you sew up that little gap. There we go. I had to pull it a little bit more. So I'm not going to do anything with this piece. So as soon as I get done pulling this through, I'm going to tie those ends together in the back. Hold on a second. It's being stubborn at the moment. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to tie these two pieces together. Pull the needle off of that. cut them as I go along, so I know which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done yet. This one should be a little bit easier because there's a bigger gap here. Just want to make sure that all these little things are like tight. So I'll come back with the final product here in a minute. Okay, so I am on the last two. So this is what it looks like so far. So let's finish this up. Twirly, 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 or twisty, 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 twisty. Needle on. Okay, so now that the needle is on, I'm gonna start from this side. Go from here, and I'm just gonna push it through the back and pull. And then you do the same, but you just flip it around. I just flipped it around so I could see. Okay, we're sewing up the last side. Okay, let's make this final knot, and then it will be completed. You can like stretch it out, but you have to kind of like stretch it out anyways. But this is what it looks like at the end. And ta-da! Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you want me to make next.